Hi, survivors. Hi, survivors. It's me, Prepper Zan. Oh, okay. That was quick. Reporting live to you guys this evening. Just want to talk about a couple of things. Not going to stay on too long this evening. Have a lot of things that I have to do. Hope everybody's well during these times, these very, very troublesome times. I mean, they're very, very troublesome. So many people are hurting. So many people are going through so much. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I see you guys are joining me. Hope you are well. Just want to talk to you guys briefly tonight about a couple of things. Y'all leave me a comment. Who's watching me? It's kind of weird, when you see these numbers, they piling up, but you don't know who they are. I'm all right with it. I know that the prepping mama. Hi, how are you? How are you this evening? Thanks for joining me. Oh, you changed your name. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. How are you out there in New York? Are things getting a little bit better? Hi, John. John Davis. Hi, Miss Zan from Massachusetts, by the way. Hi, John. How are things in Massachusetts? Didn't you guys just have it? Didn't the storm just hit Boston, I think? What part of Massachusetts are you, John, if you don't mind me asking? So tonight, you guys, I know I've been talking about a lot with these storms because it seemed like that's the latest weapon. Well, I can't say it's the latest. It's one of them amongst so many of the weapons that are being used against us. Unfortunately, we're talking about this whole pandemic. We're talking about these viruses. We're talking about the inflation. We're talking about the shrinkflation, the crimes. We're talking about now this weather. Oh my God, this weather. Oh, John Davis say, I am north of Worcester, 30 minutes. Oh, okay. The prepper mom said, people just don't listen, can't believe the shortages. And it's like people are in a delusional state. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So many people are in a delusional state. So as I was speaking, and I thank you guys so much for coming, about the current situations that we are now dealing with on a daily basis. All these weapons are being formed against us, y'all. So it's so many of them. And I don't know if you guys are noticing it. I know in our community, I look at a lot of guys are noticing that, but it's so many people that are passing away stories on a daily basis because I'm learning from these things. Yes, I have been in a lot of disasters. Yes, you guys have been in disasters as well. We're all living in a disaster right now with these viruses and all these other mandates and the jabs. I mean, we're living through disasters. And this lady was saying how this guy she was dating, she was just crying. One of the evacuees, a lot of the evacuees from Louisiana, in particularly New Orleans and Lake Charles, are here in our city here in Houston, Texas. And I'm hearing a lot of different stories. This lady was saying her boyfriend of 11 years, he was in a car at the time when those storms came into that city. And he had a heart attack. Just couldn't take it. A lot of these people almost lost their lives and lost their loved ones lost their lives during Katrina, and they're still traumatized by that. And sometimes a lot of us ask the question, well, why are you still there? That's because I even asked the question. And I don't know why I would ask it because I still be here in Houston and we've gone through a lot of hurricanes. And she simply asked because she said, because that's our home. And I get that and I understand that. So it's so many different people passing from all these different tragedies and all these different weapons that are being formed against us. And it's unimaginable. It's just unbelievable, all these things that we are fighting against. Heirloom Permaculture. Hello, all. Hi. Thanks for joining us. Bruh John says, good evening, all. Hi, Bruh John. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you so much. John Davis, the Prepping Mama, Heirloom Permaculture, Bruh John. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. So as I was saying, I was listening to the stories. And y'all, it's just unbelievable. They are kicking some of the people who are staying in the hotels out because, unfortunately, I'm gonna say allegedly, because I'm listening to their side and I haven't gotten the side of any FEMA representative. They have not paid up, and some of the vouchers are starting to be paid today, but not all of it. And then with the hotels, they're telling them, okay, well they paid this, but they haven't paid that. So they're saying, oh, they didn't pay the what you call it when people mess up something. I'm having a brain freeze right now. The what is it, coincidentals or it's something like that. The whatever, when you go to get these hotel rooms and whatnot, and you have to leave a deposit for if you the incidentals. That's what they are. If you mess up something. So people were getting put out who they was paying their own money before FEMA kicked in with a couple of them, and they didn't have the money at the time before FEMA kicked in, and they got put out of the hotels. So not only they've been displaced out of their homes, not only have they lost their homes, not only have they don't have food and money and a lot of the things that they need, and they come and they escape the disaster area where they are, come into another area and get put out of the shelter that they had because they don't have the funds. This is why I iterate, and I'm talking so much about these storms because this is the latest weapon that is displacing so many people, and it's happening spontaneously, and it's happening abruptly. And I'm listening to these stories so I can come and report to you guys how we can stay on top of everything that's going on. Now there's another storm that's brewing. I'm going to study it tonight, and I'm going to find out exactly where, and I'm going to listen to the Weatherman Plus, and I encourage you guys to listen to Weatherman Plus and David Schlotenhauer here on YouTube because they're very informative. They're going to let you know if it's hitting your area, when it's hitting your area, so you can properly prepare you and your family. And you can also, I know with David Schlotenhauer, he's really good with this. I know Weatherman Plus, he has a lot of people, so he might not can answer those comments. But when they're going live, you can ask them, because I do it all the time to David Schlotenhauer. I'm like, well, is it coming here? This is where I am. What can I expect? What do I need to do? And they would tell you. And these are benefits that we get with these meteorologists online on YouTube that we don't get with the meteorologists that we are looking at on our local news. They tell us things right when they want to tell us things. They don't tell us things in time enough to prepare. And I'm talking about the local meteorologist that's on this news, that people look at all the time. And this is another complaint that a lot of the citizens in Louisiana, they were complaining about. It's like, well, they didn't give us enough time. We didn't know. All of a sudden they told us to evacuate. And then all of these things just occurred. So these are some of the notes that I took, we're talking to them. A lot of them could have stayed home. I talked to them and they were saying a lot of the areas some of the areas did not get flooded, and some of the, but everything was without lights because the tower just totally went down. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody intentionally just tore it down just so those people could be displaced, and some of them would have to go to those camps and shelters. But since they didn't have generators, then since they didn't have solar generators or the gas generators, and they didn't have a backup plan, and they didn't have gas, and they didn't have candles and batteries, and they didn't have a lot of the things that they need, they had to escape their city. I remember when we went to that tornado last year, we didn't leave our houses because we had generators, we had food, we had water. And sometimes if you're not in a flooded area, sometimes you can just weigh it out at your house. I'm telling you, it would save you thousands of dollars, but you have to make sure that you have everything that you need, and you have to make sure that you're not in a flooded area. They said that in some of the areas, it was just mostly wind, and that's what, blew that energy out of there. So, they end up, I was like, wow, they left their home, because I know New Orleans is like 7 hours away from Houston. Lake Charles is only like 2, but still, if it was me in that situation, and just as long as my house wasn't inundated with water, I would have just probably stuck it out at home. What do you guys think? Y'all tell me in the comment section, what would you have done in that situation if it was just you didn't have any lights? I know a lot of us, we are prepped up, we have candles and we have batteries, and we have like these alternative ways of using our lights. We have solar lights and things of that nature, but a lot of them they flee their city, and they came to somewhere else. They don't really know anybody, and they don't really know how to get around. Also, they said that I talked about that. Also, a lot of people end up getting stranded. A lot of people pass because they didn't have any transportation. They didn't have any ways they didn't have any ways of getting out of the city. So some people passed because they were stranded there. Like the guy I was telling you about, the lady who said her boyfriend died because he was in his car and he ended up having a heart attack. So I don't know if it's because the water started, coming into his car, or he was just, having anxiety by what he was seeing. They've gone through so many storms and so many hurricanes. But I would like to talk to you guys about the transportation, especially. The prepper mama said, I'd stay put if it wasn't, yeah, yeah. But I don't know, you said if it wasn't dang. I don't know if you were trying to say if it wasn't dark. They said that it was extremely dark, but I know it was extremely dark for us in the country last year as well. Y'all know the country is very dark because they don't have a lot of the street lights that the city have. But with the lights that we had, the candles, I have like high lit, high beam lights. We used that. We used a lot of candles. So we were able, me and my neighbors and I, we were able to illuminate enough light where we didn't have to leave our area. And we were better off not leaving the area. Because I told you, Red Cross had hotels for people, but when you go to them, they wanted you to get that thing up your nose and take all these tests because of the pandemic and all this. So everybody's like, no, no way. We're going to just weigh it out where we are. And we were okay. Now, we were out of lights for like, I think it was like a week and a half, but it wasn't so bad because we had the generators. We were lucky to have a gas station right down the street that had a backup generator, so they had plenty of gas. I mean, in the country, y'all, you have more resources than you do in the city. They don't run out as fast because it's not a lot of people that's utilizing these things. But in the city, you have people, all types of people, so many people that's getting like the gas and getting the food. And so that stuff runs out, and it runs out very quickly. But like out in the country, in the rural areas, you have a better chance of surviving. I know this for a fact because I have land in the country, and all of that. I stayed in the country for a very long time, and I'm on my way back out there, and I still go there back and forth, but I do a lot of work in these cities. But I'm preparing to just be in the country and just be working online and just be working out in my yard and selling my vegetables. Let me read some of the comments. Hi Alpha 165. He said, you don't want to be a refugee. Absolutely. This is another thing that I'm experiencing with them. A lot of them left their home and they come here and they run out of money to pay for the hotels and whatnot. Then they end up having to go to the camps and the shelters that's set up in place to further push agendas on a lot of these people. And so China Moore, hi China Moore, says, I'm in Louisiana and I'm staying put. You were smart. Could you please tell us in the comment section, are you in an area where the lights just went out, or was it flooding? Can you please, if you don't mind, because everybody's trying to learn how to be better preppers and how to properly prepare for these storms, because we see these storms are just happening back to back in a lot of areas where people are not used to it. I know you're in Louisiana, I'm here in Texas, we used to it, with Katrina and Ike and Harvey and all that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying like we're used to it, like we're used to it happening, but every time it happens, it's still traumatic. It's still overwhelming. It's still devastating because everything you work so hard for is at risk. It's at risk. It really is. And even your life, unfortunately. China Moore said, yes, it's so hectic out here. Save and Sanctify says, greetings and respect. Hi, how are you? The prepper mama said, dangerous, sorry, cell phone. Dangerous, sorry, cell phone. So, and then also, you guys, it's important to have, I'm going to get back on the transportation in a minute. It's important to have ways of charging up your devices, because when these towers go down, and when they go down, you want to have backup sources, backup energy sources. So you can, if we already talked about the hand crank radios, which are very important. You have solar hand crank radios, you have the hand crank radios that are powered by batteries. This is what I do. I've been so used to these storms to like now it's just a natural thing for me to keep my devices fully charged. I'm telling you, I don't go to bed without my devices fully charged. Even during the day when I'm working from home on my computer, I make sure it's fully charged. And that comes from years of being in these storms, because I already know something could happen in the middle of the night. It's happened so many times. Before I go to bed, I make sure I still have everything in my bug out bag. I make sure that Things are put up the way they need to be put up just in case a tornado hit or a hurricane hit in the middle of the night, that I don't have dishes all everywhere and glass all everywhere. I make sure the house is clean, because that's another thing that we experience in these storms. If your house is not clean, you can't clean it then when that storm hit, because the grid is down, the water's now contaminated. So you want to always keep your house clean, keep your bathtub full of water. If it's a tornado, you might not want to keep your bathtub full of water, because you might have to get in that bathtub and put a mattress over you and your loved one in that bathtub so you could save your life. But and all these things are very, 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 very important. Now, going back to the transportation, how they said a lot of people passed, unfortunately, because they didn't have any ways of getting out of the cities. We should always make sure our transportation is up to par, including the tires, and also have the tools to change your tires or flat. And ladies, I would encourage you, if you don't know how to change your tires, you need to learn how to do so, because it's very, very, very important. They were complaining about how some people were stranded on the road because there were so many people trying to get out of that city and trying to get here to Texas. People's tires were on flat. They couldn't call like AAA and all these different people who usually will be able to come. Those people are gone themselves. They trying to get out of danger themselves. Because like I said, in these storms, you are on your own. So don't wait to get ready. Stay ready. These are the times we living in, y'all. I told y'all it's game time. All that trying to get ready and all that, we need to be ready at all times. Make sure your tires are up to par. Make sure your battery is okay. I had to buy a new battery for my car a couple of weeks ago because it just went out on me. I was at a grocery store. It just went out. I didn't know what was going on. And then come to find out that one of the fans had went out. Y'all make sure, look at these things in your car. You may want to start your engine up, pull your hood up, look up under your hood, making sure that everything is going okay, making sure you look up under the car, like back your car up after you've had it parked all night. Look and make sure there's no oil leaking. Make sure you get oil changes. Make sure you have enough transmission fluid in your car, making sure that you have enough water in your car. These things are very important. Because like I said, transportation is it's very, very, very important, because I know during the Texas winter storm, a lot of people were using their cars just to keep their loved ones warm, and they were sleeping in their cars because the grid was down during the Texas winter storm for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. The water was really contaminated. People used their cars to get around to get some of the supplies that they needed, because the city had ran out of almost everything. So China Moore said the place is out of lights. This is in Louisiana. And many power lines are down, and we have to wait until 5 or 6 weeks for energy. Oh my goodness. Wow. So our hearts and prayers are going out to you guys. I thank you so much for joining us and informing us what's going on, because I've been telling people every day what's going on, with the evacuees that's here in Houston. And a lot of them are very angry, and a lot of them are very upset, and a lot of them want to get back home, and I would too. It's hard when you have to leave where you from. Dinner Wolves. Hi, how are you? 4Generation says, have you heard about the drones being used on the beaches in Australia for facial recognition and temp checks along with the phone app? It's disgusting. And you can bet it's coming here next. Oh my, I haven't heard about that, but I thank you for sharing this information with all of us so we could be well informed and aware. And so we can start doing what we need to do to prevent these things from happening to us. And I know it's going to happen here. Because if y'all notice, since this pandemic, what happens one place happens everywhere. It's been all over these mandates and these agendas. And it's unfortunate because we're the ones going to have to deal with it. John Davis said, it's good to get a cheap power inverter if your car doesn't have an AC plug for power and charging, etc. That is a very good idea. Once again, John Davis said, it's good to get a cheap power inverter if your car doesn't have an AC plug for powering and charging, etc. That's a very great idea. And because that's another way so you can charge the things that you need. I have a portable, I don't have it here. I have a portable battery charger, because that's another thing. Sometimes you guys, if something happens with your battery, and it's hard to find other people to give you a boost. And then you don't want to be bothering people trying to stop people on the side of the road when they're trying to get out of danger, out of harm's way, out of out of the disaster area, and you are too, and your tire have gone, I mean, your battery have gone down on your car, it would behoove us to just have the things that we need if you can. And I found that portable battery charger, man, it comes in very handy and it saves a lot of money. Having the tools that you need to be able to change your own tire, to be able to boost your own battery, this stuff saves you thousands of dollars. Because if you have to pay somebody, a mobile mechanic or somebody to come out, or a tow truck to come out, y'all, that's about $200 or $300. And I'm telling you, when these disasters hit, that's when the price gouging goes. I'm telling you, these people, they increase the prices like quadruple. Usually to tow a car out here in the city of Houston, like for anywhere from 150 to 160 or 70, depending on how far you got to go. But if you're in a disaster, they'll charge you up to $300 to $400. I see this happening all the time. We spoke about price gouging on last night. Alpha 165 says, at one time, our house had a cistern under back porch. We drained it and made a storm shelter of it. And that's very, very smart. Very, very intelligent. Y'all, that's a good idea. If you have ways at your house to make shelters right there where you are, I would suggest you do that. Because when you have to leave your city, I wouldn't suggest you stay in your city or in your area if it's a flooded area. I just wouldn't suggest that, y'all. I've lost a lot like that. Almost could have lost our lives like that. But if you can't weigh it out, if it's just like a light situation or something like that, your lights out, you can kind of pan that out if you have the right things that you need. It was something else that I wanted to speak to you guys about. I'm not going to hold you guys long today. And yeah, the main thing that I wanted to iterate is that when it's a SHTF situation, nobody's going to come. They're not coming. If they do, it's not going to be right away. And you really be needing to have what you need right away. So the thing to do is always be able to have as much as you need and what you need right there with you. And that'll prevent a lot of these things from occurring. I'm getting some other notes from behind me. It says, put ice in washing machine and put water and food in it. The water drains out and it stays long. Oh, that's a great idea as well. And then also with your refrigerator, like we spoke about this yesterday, with the meats and stuff in your refrigerator. If you don't open up that refrigerator, that freezer, then that meat will pretty much sustain itself. And if you have ways of cooking your meat right there with you and cooking your food right there with you, I like propane. I like the propane gas stoves, and they are very, very useful. And I have like another portable little stove I have with me. It runs off of butane fuel. Keep barbecue pits. You know, I just don't want, today, as a matter of fact, I went through my preps and went and got some food, you know, and I was so happy that I had some food, because when I go to the grocery store, you guys, the prices of this food is just ridiculous. Everything is just increasing significantly around us. So let's try to just keep prepared. Saved and Sanctified said you can make a heater stove with cardboard and tuna can. Absolutely. And these are all really good ways for all of us to try to learn and know more about China more. I'm wishing y'all the best. I heard it was a lot of looting and things like that going on. We had some of the evacuees here today say that they will be going home tomorrow because the lights have been turned back on in certain areas. And we just wish y'all the best. I know that those hurricanes hit really, really bad out there. I mean, just really, really bad. And they hit really bad here. But you guys, I would just encourage you. I'm not sure of where this next hurricane is going to hit. It's another one. Right now, as we speak, it's brewing in the Gulf. So we don't know what direction it's going to come. Please continue to watch the weather. Watch the weather and continue to smell your water that's coming out of your sinks, out of your bathtubs, because we were smelling sewage water for a whole week straight. And when I put it out here online, there were other viewers who were smelling the contaminated water as well. So I thank you guys for coming in today. We're going to talk more tomorrow. Is there anything anybody have to say? Any questions you want to ask? We have the survivalism class that's going to come up. I'm going to have some of it on Patreon. And if you're interested in the class, you can join me on Patreon at Prepper Zan. And then also I'm on BitChute at Zan Harold. I'm on Twitter as Prepper Zan. And then also you can always email me at prepperzan@gmail.com. If you are in the Texas area, I do have 2 properties, and we're starting community living on these properties. And if you're interested with getting with me and forming community living, and we look out for each other and help one another, you can also email me at prepperzan@gmail.com. And I'm interested in knowing you guys, any of you viewers, if you guys are getting with people in your community, you have like-minded people you are communicating with for the SHTF situation, even though I feel like we're in an SHTF situation now, but are you guys like getting with people in your neighborhood and having a plan and discussing some things that you can do? Because I'm noticing when I'm talking to some of these people here, they're saying that they don't have people in their neighborhood that they've been forming, groups together with. And I think that's very unfortunate. I think that when you're in a community, and if you're close to your neighbors, or if you don't know your neighbors, I think now is a good time. I hate to say it. I just think that, like in the country, we all help one another. And it makes it so much easier when you're going through these disaster related events. When you got people around you and it's just you and your family, and then it's just them and their family, and everybody's doing their own thing, it's very complicated. Even though some people with a lot of family members, it makes it a little bit more easier for them. But still, it's just so much better when people come together in a community. You can help one another. You can be there for one another. It makes your load a whole lot lighter. I know this because I've gone through this so many times with my neighbors, and we look out for each other. And I'd be so grateful for that, because I'm like, man, if I was doing this alone, and if I had to be alone during this time, doing this, I don't know what I would do. So you guys, let me see if we have any comments before I go. China Moore say yes, and I thank you so much for your prayers. Oh, thank you so much, and for being here with us. And I have a lot of other information I'm gonna share with you guys. I had a meeting tonight. I've been working all day. I do apologize that I cannot stay as long as I usually would stay on my lives. But I'll be back here again tomorrow. We'll have a longer conversation. We'll discuss some other things that you guys want to discuss. I just really want to talk and reiterate how important it is to keep prepping, how important it is to be a prepper these days and times. China's telling you guys right now, the prepping mom is telling you guys right now how they are in these disaster areas and what's going on with them. The prepping mama was saying how she was in her car and that water started coming up in her car, and how she lost things and she didn't even know this was going to happen to her. The local meteorologist did not inform her. And just like China is saying, it's really bad out there in Louisiana. These people are telling us. So this is a warning for us to take heed. The last thing you want to do is be in one of these disaster related areas and you don't have what you need. And you don't have enough water, and you don't have enough food, and you don't have ways of purifying your water, or you don't have ways of getting you and your family out of there, out of harm's way. Y'all, this stuff is really bad. It's really dangerous when these storms hit these areas. I'm telling you, it is unbelievable. It's unimaginable the things that if you haven't, get ready, because it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's a part of their plan, and it's a part of their agenda. I'm telling you, they're using this weather as a weapon. And if you don't believe it, you soon will. Because I'm telling you, when it comes, you're going to be like, this is not natural. How is this just happening? They use certain dates and certain times. It's just a very, very evil agenda, y'all. It's very, very, very evil. All these things since this pandemic has started, it's just, I'm telling you, it's like blow after blow after blow after blow. The prepper mama said, thank you, Zan. You're so very welcome. John Davis said, thank you. God bless. God bless you too. So prepper, hi, sister. You finally come to the lives, huh? She said, I just got hit by Hurricane Ida. It was a category 3 for us. Took off my back porch and threw it into my window. My preps was ready though. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there, because you stay prepping. You always come and you're like, I'm stacking it to the rafters. I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm getting this, and I'm getting that. Well, I pray that you and your family are okay. Our hearts and prayers are going out to you, because I know those storms they're nothing to play with. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but I am so glad that you were prepared. I'm so glad if you can like tell us some of y'all experiences, like, and if you don't mind, tell us what state that you are in. The prepper mama said, "This is real, everyone. Something is wrong. Not to mention sewage on everything since they flooded toilets, sinks. So evil, so not natural." Exactly. Exactly. I'm so glad that you left that comment because I talk about it all the time. I get people upset with me. They think I'm out of my mind. I'm not out of my mind. I know what I feel. And I know a lot of this weather is not natural. It's just, man, when I tell you in Philadelphia, after Ida had hit the southern states, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and started going towards the northeast, all of a sudden it's like, yeah, 9 twister tornadoes just hit Philadelphia. EF1, EF2, EF3. And then when I went online and I'm looking at it, I'm like, it seems like somebody's doing this. I felt the exact same thing that I felt during the Texas winter storm. My spirit don't never steer me wrong, y'all. I'm like, somebody is doing this. It doesn't seem natural. And you know, and it's so crazy. The prepper mama said, "Hi, solid multi-prepper. Happy to hear you're okay." Yeah. Inbred dinner wolves, fourth generation says, "And do you trust cryptocurrencies? I just can't. Just digits on the screen. You will never hold when power goes out." Um, I agree with that as well. I did put some money into Bitcoin. I did leave it there for a couple of years. It did increase, but they have such a secure system. I don't know if you guys heard about the guy who had like millions and millions of dollars. I don't know if he lost that money, but if you lose your password, I'm telling you, you could lose you could lose your money. That's the problem I have with it. You know, but if you're interested in investing in cryptocurrency, I did it. I forgot that I had them. I'm just telling you, I'm so busy. I'm more into when it comes to investing, I'm more into land and into property. I've I've never had a bad investment with land and real estate. I'm just being honest with you. One time I bought some land for only $2,000 here in Texas. I'm talking about in the prime area. The guy I bought it from, he had like 4 or 5 different properties, and the taxes in this particular area was like $1,000 a year. He said, "Look, I'm just tired. I don't want to keep paying the taxes." That land, somebody had gave me an offer of that land like 3 or 4 months later for, I think it's 25 to 30,000. So like when it comes to investing, my thing is land. You know, I have a passion for real estate because I was homeless so many years, and I was always unstable and didn't have places to go, growing up as a kid. So, I can't really tell you a lot about the cryptocurrency because honestly, I don't know a lot about it. I think my kid or somebody's like, you should put some money into real estate and see what it does. But the point that you make is a very, very valid point. The grid goes down, and how you're going to get it. I took mine out, to be honest with you, because I almost forgot the password to get back in there. It was Coinbase. Yeah, Coinbase. So, I worked with Coinbase, and I did see an increase on it. I'm just being honest with you. But I was kind of scared of that same thing too, as far as like losing. And, we can't afford any losses. Save and Sanctify say the most important prep, having firearms and ammo, have to be able to protect what you have. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. That is so very true, y'all. That is so very true. I think that is one of the most important preps. I think, to me, the most important prep is together, because you can't do nothing. You can't move around. You can't do nothing without that. That's first of all. That's why I always iterate to you guys, try to stay as healthy as you possibly can. Try to work out if you can. Some people, have disabilities and are able to do so. But try to do whatever it takes to keep your mind and your body right. Because I'm noticing a lot of the vacuums here, a lot of them, their minds, you can only imagine you going through something like that, something so traumatic. So the main thing you want to do is try to stay calm in these situations, keep your mind and your body right, just in case you have to get out. Because I remember when my daughter was a newborn, and I forgot what storm that was that came here to Houston, and we woke up to water like this. We almost lost our children, me and my sister, and we hurried up and got those kids, and we had to carry them. The flood waters was up to here, and it kept rising, and we had to have our kids like in the air like this here, and we had to walk miles in nasty flood water. And if we didn't have our bodies right, we wouldn't have been able to escape that situation. I'm telling you, we lost everything. The cars, you couldn't even get in the cars. The cars were gone. They were flooded down the street. They were inundated with water, and that was our main source of transportation. We lost our cars, the house that we lived in, all the clothes, all the food, everything we had in it. But we were able, with our bodies, to get our kids, and just with the clothes we had on our back, up out of there. I'm talking about that water just started rising all of a sudden. And I think it is very important to have firearm. Y'all, it is very important, y'all. The crime is just off the roof. And if you don't have ways to protect yourself, and if you don't have ways to protect your family, you're in a lot of trouble. You're in a lot of trouble. And I would also like to recommend and suggest like pepper spray, bear spray, knives, learn how to fight. If you don't know how to fight, you got to learn how to fight as well. You got to do everything to protect yourselves and to protect family. And thank you for mentioning that, saved and sanctified. The Prepper Mama said, yes, our discernment. The Prepper Mama also says, so Prepper, sorry, my autocorrect on the cell is awful. States now taking it as an unclaimed fund. That's what has kept me away from crypto. Wow, I didn't know that. So the Prepper Mama says, as far as crypto is concerned, the states are now taking it as an unclaimed fund. So that means if you have money left in, or you have money in Bitcoin, and on Coinbase, all these other different places as far as cryptocurrencies is concerned, if you don't claim it, they taking it. And that's unfortunate. And that's what scared me about the cryptocurrency. So I'm sorry, I don't really know a lot about it. Like I said, I did invest in it. My money did increase, and I took it out. I wasn't trying to play with that like that. The Prepper Mama said, I got a cheap inflatable raft. Exactly. Have it hung in my garage at the moment. Just came in today. Yeah, I would also advise to get inflatable rafts. I have like little small canoes. I have like swimming stuff, like the little floaties you put on your arms. I know how to swim, because I'm telling y'all, these storms, they're very, very, very serious. Oh, hey B, how you doing today? You didn't call me on my birthday. I guess you was at working. I guess you were working at work. I can't believe you in my chat. Oh, it's good to see you, B. And the Prepper Mama says, no kidding. I'm in G's. I have to get on them. Stop for chats. Typos bother me. So yeah, hey B, I know you're gonna get ready to go to church tomorrow. So y'all, thank you so much once again. Anybody have any other questions or whatever, you can always email me at prepperzan@gmail.com. Sometimes, y'all, this is my entertainment page. And so you will sometimes see me upload my music and different things that I'm doing in the industry. I've just been using it lately for my survivalism videos, only because I've gotten so many strikes on my other page. So I want you guys to still be able to have access to me, and I still can be able to have access to you just in case or when they take that page off. But I thank y'all so much for joining me, and thank you, B. It's so good to see you. I miss you so much. I'm out here in Houston, so maybe I can go to church with you one of these Sundays or something, catch up and see what you been doing and how your mom and dad them doing. I haven't talked to you in a very, very long time. So guys, thank you so much again, and I will be back here tomorrow night, and I'm going to do this every day until Monday, and then Monday I'll probably just do it once a week. And so we're going to cover some other things, and if there's anything you guys like to talk about on the lives, y'all, please bring your information tomorrow or whenever you're going to be able to come on live, and let's talk about it. You can type it in a nice to see you, boo. Nice to see you too, So Proper. Thank you so much for coming and commenting as well. So yeah, bring your ideas, bring what you want to talk about in the live tomorrow, and we're going to go over it. All right, thank you so much for watching. Keep surviving.